Hey guys, welcome back to High Yield Intraday Trading. I hope every one of you is doing good. So before we start discussing today's topic, let me request you all to subscribe to my YouTube channel by clicking on the subscribe button here. Once you click on it, you will get the confirmation on the left bottom corner. Post you subscribe to my channel, also make sure to press the bell icon and click on all. You will get the confirmation on the left bottom corner so that whenever I upload a video, you get the notification about the same without any misses. Also, I would request you all to subscribe to my Telegram channel with the name HYIT Intraday Calls because I share a lot of things over there and it might be helpful to you in some way or the other. All right. So many times what the retail traders assume is that if a stock breaches or breaks its previous week's high, then it will move up further. And when I say previous week's high, I mean the high that it made last week, or the high it made last to last week, or even a high that it made before some 2 to 3 weeks earlier. So whenever this high is broken, the retail traders actually get a very strong sentiment that this stock will move up further. Now, the question is, will it happen? Will the stock go up further just because it broke its previous week's high? Right? You, as an intraday trader, you as a day trader, how should you anticipate this particular situation? So, let's talk about it in this video. Okay. So, again, to understand this situation, let's take the example of 4 weeks: week one, week two, week three, and week four. Okay, so let's say we have a stock that made a high of 1,000 rupees in week one. The same stock in week two breaches its week one's high and made a new high of 1,500 rupees. Okay, now getting on to week three. In week three, it again breached week two's high and made a new high of 2,000 rupees. And in week four, it again breaches or breaks the high it made in week three and went up further up until 2,500 rupees. Okay, now assume that it is the first day of week four when this high is broke. Okay, let's say it's a Monday of week four and you are a day trader. So, in this scenario, what will you do? Well, normally a retail trader will anticipate that this stock will move up further as it has breached the previous week's high, that is the week three's high. And as a result, he or she will decide to initiate a long position as per price action, right? But the question is, would it be a right decision? Okay, now in order to address this, we can take the help of the volume indicator. Now, please remember, when I talk about volume, it's a huge entity and it can be used in multiple ways. But in this video, we will only try to relate it to decide if the breakout that has happened in week four, that is on Monday, is it a valid breakout or not. If it is a valid breakout, then as a day trader, we will initiate a long position. And if we see that it's an invalid breakout, then as a day trader, we will not initiate a long position. Okay, so back to the volume indicator. Let me show you on the chart what a volume indicator looks like. Okay, I'm very sure every one of you would be knowing it. So I have already made the chart ready with all the drawings just to save some time. Okay, so on the lower end, on the lower pane, the green and red bars that you see, that is nothing but the volume indicator. How do we draw it? Well, let me take you to another page. So this is trading view that I'm using. So you open the chart and go to indicators and just type in volume there. Click on volume and that will plot the volume indicator at the bottom of the window. Now, after that is done, you can go to the settings and you can change the color annotations. Okay, I feel the present color or the default color was quite dull, so I made it a little brighter, as you can see in this particular chart. Okay, so this is how you bring in the volume indicator. Okay, and whatever you see on the lower end pane, as I said, the green and the red bars, those are the volume indicators. Okay, now getting back to the topic here. Okay, so volume in layman's term. Okay, what is volume in a layman's term? Okay, Volume is an indicator that can be used to observe the buying and selling activity for a particular stock. Okay, now the difficulty arises when you change the time frames. Okay, what I mean to say is, if you see the volume indicator in a 5 minutes time frame and in a 15 minutes time frame, they will be different. Similarly, if you see it in a 30 minutes time frame and in an 1 hour time frame, again it will be different. Okay, so make sure that you are using an unchanged time frame to view the volume indicator. Okay, so here, since we are talking about intraday trading, you can use a 5 minutes time frame to read the charts, or even a 15 minutes time frame, but make sure that the time frame is fixed. It should be static, or else you yourself will get confused. Okay, so this was a small pointer, the very first pointer as to how to use the volume indicator. Okay, so the chart that you see on the screen right now is for Eicher Motors, and it is a 5 minutes time frame chart, as you can see on the top left corner. Eicher Motors 5 minutes time frame. Okay, so what I was saying was, volume will tell you, or it will represent all the trades that are already recorded for a particular stock. Okay, so having that said, let's go ahead and see how the volume indicator can help us decide or determine how a particular stock will behave when the previous week's high is breached. Okay, so basically, the day traders look out for support and resistances to enter the trades, right? Everything, literally everything, is regulated by support and resistance in the stock market. I mean, there are many other things. There are many other things which are important to decide the trades, but I'm talking in perspective to a day trader. Okay, we being a day trader, we always look out for a good support level or a good resistance level in order to go long, or in order to go short, right? So we need to make sure that whenever a breakout happens, it should happen with a good volume. Okay, and please note that here I'm not considering any indicators or oscillators to explain the scenario. We are talking purely in terms of only volume and the price. Okay, so getting on to the chart, let me go ahead and explain this stuff on the chart so that you will be more clearer on what I'm trying to say. Okay, so getting onto the chart here. So as I mentioned earlier, this is Aicha Motors 5 minutes chart. Okay, now the explanation that I gave theoretically before some time, I took the example of the weekly charts, but here this is the 5 minutes time frame chart. So let's take it on a day wise chart. Okay, so here, this entire segment is the move that Aicha Motors gave yesterday, that was on 25th of August, right? And this is the entire move that gave today, that is on 26th of August 2020. Okay, so as you can see here, the green dot that you see here, that was yesterday's day's high that was made by Aicha Motors. Okay, now today what happened is, Aicha Motor gave you a huge gap up opening, which also breached yesterday's day's high, right? So the yesterday's day high is here, and Aicha Motor opened here. Now, does that mean that Aicha Motor will go up further? Is the question. Now, let's understand, or let's decode what happened on the charts one after the other. Okay, so as I said, Aicha Motor opened with a huge gap up opening, and the first candle was a huge red candle. And see, where did the red candle close? It closed here, and this point was very near to yesterday's high. So basically, the people who follow price action, they will surely anticipate that this level will be a support level, and from here Aicha Motor should be moving up further. Okay, so basically they will either take a long position at this point, or there will be some traders who will wait for the first candle's high to be breached, that is these green dots, and then they will initiate a long position. Okay, that is how uh, basically a retail trader would take this chart to be. Okay, but what happened actually throughout the day? Throughout the day, Aisha Motor was not even able to reach the day's high, and it kept falling throughout the day. It kept falling, and after 12:40 or 1 o'clock in the afternoon, that is the second half of the day, it was completely flat. It was completely sideways, right? Now, see the volume here. Okay, so Aisha Motor opened with a big gap up, okay, and a big red candle. And we, as a retail trader, anybody who is a retail trader who is into price action, he will anticipate that it will take a support here, because this is the point where the previous day's high is lying. Okay, and then Acha Motors will go up further. Now, if you see the volume here, the volume never supported the up move. The volume was falling here. It was diagonally falling here, right? So if Aicher motor was supposed to be going up, then the volume has to be increasing like this. Okay, the slant has to be in the upward direction like this, the way it is here. Upward direction. The slant is in the upward direction. The volume is moving up. Similarly here, the slant is on the upward direction. The volume is moving up. That is why Aicher motor is falling right from here to here, and then again from here to here. Okay, you don't have to concentrate on the green and the red bars here. Just concentrate on the overall pattern that these blocks prepare for you. Okay, if the overall pattern is slanting downwards, it clearly tells you that the volume is falling, and there are no chances that Aicha Motors will go up further, right? So this is one scenario. The second scenario will be the one, as a day trader, will come in here at this point, okay, the 12:20 p.m. candle. So the 12:20 p.m. candle actually breached the day's low, right? So the retail trader who is a price action trader, he will think of initiating a short position here, and basically the thought process will be like Aicha Motors will fall further, right? But if you have a look at the volume, the 12:20 candle gave a good volume spike. But what happened after that? Again, the slant was in the downward direction, which means that the volume is falling, which means that there is no proper volume for Aisha Motors to fall further. So it will be a big risk if you initiate a short position here. And you can very well see what happened after that. It did breach the day's low at this point. It came down for some time, but after that, it went flat completely for the entire day, right? So this is how you should be having a look on the volume. Just to repeat, do not get confused with the green and the red bars that you see here. What you need to see is the overall slanting of the bars. Okay, if the overall slanting of the bars is diagonally down, that means that the volume is not proper. And if the overall slanting of the volume bars are diagonally up, that means that the volume is increasing, and accordingly the stock will either move up or move down. Okay, so I hope you are getting the point, guys. Okay, there are many variations of using the volume indicator or the volume as a whole. Okay, but the explanation that I just provided is also a valid way of anticipating how the stock might behave for the present trading day. Okay, so always have an eye on how the volume is reacting along with the prices, and maybe that you can catch hold of what the market is trying to tell you. Okay, again, this is not simple. You need to get onto the charts and become very comfortable in analyzing the charts, and only then you can succeed in reading the stuffs. Okay, again, just to give a disclaimer, this whole explanation or this whole video was only about the volume indicator and the price. Okay, just to repeat, we did not discuss any indicators or oscillators. But when it comes to me, you know, I am a complete fan of indicators and oscillators. I do all of my trades based on the indicators and oscillators. But again, just to repeat, this approach is also a good one. And the more you get comfortable with the charts, the more accurate where your anticipations will go in future. Okay, so I hope that was clear enough? And I hope you got the point what I wanted to state in this particular video. Okay, so that's it from my end, guys. And as always, would request you all to like and subscribe to my YouTube channel. And also, please do not miss the ending of the video, as you might get some important information about HYIT that might be helpful to you in some way or the other. And please feel free to ask your questions or queries, if any, in the comment section, and I will surely reply back to them when I get time. And also, please do not forget to like this video if you liked it. Okay, so that's all from my end, and I will see you all later. Hope you all will stay back home. Happy trading. Bye bye.